Hello, 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 guys. Thank you so much for joining us for another interview with KS News, King Simon Entertainment Media Group, where we bring you wonderful trending topics, a lot of controversial topics, as well as empowering people with wonderful information that will change their lives and just improve their quality of life. And today is no exception. We have a wonderful, wonderful, great entrepreneur that's coming on. But before we do, and we introduce our guests, we have to thank our partners and our sponsors, Heart to Heart for You.org, Heal to Heal, USC Black Alumni Association for their partnership, as well as the More Than Greenwood Foundation. Thank you guys so much for your partnerships and your support. If you are interested in supporting and partnering with us, King Solomon Entertainment Media Group, please reach out to us at our official website on King Solomon Entertainment TV, which is our official website, kingsolomonentertainment.tv. It's our official website. Please reach out to us and let us know, and we'll let you know how to connect with us as far as um, how to partner with us. We also want to encourage everyone who has not put in their monologue, 6 second monologue, to please do that, and to please do that at KingSimonEntertainment.tv. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get everything up and going on these websites. I'm on four different ones, so I appreciate you. Sorry about that. KingSimonEntertainment.tv. Please upload your 60-second monologue where we're going to put you before an all-star panel of Hollywood insiders. You guys watch the show, Hollywood Now, all-star power on our show. We're going to be bringing you star panels to give you constructive feedback on your talent. So please send in your 60-second tapes. Deadline is approaching, and continue to support. We are on Twitter, King Solomon Entertainment Media Company and Entertainment Group. Please support, comment, subscribe. We on Facebook, King Solomon Entertainment Company. We are on Instagram, KING_SOLOMON _ENT_CO_. Support, subscribe, share. And on YouTube, we are King Solomon Entertainment Company. And today we are so excited. We are so excited to bring you a young entrepreneur who is making wonderful, wonderful waves in the business world. And he cannot wait for him to come on to share his story. The young entrepreneur, Los Angeles Oils and Butter. We are excited to have the entrepreneur, Jerron Mitchell, today. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, Jerron, for coming and joining us. And we're so excited to have you, brother. And we're
Thank
so
you.
excited to have you to share your story. And so please do a formal introduction of yourself, who you are. Let the audience know who you are, and we can get into the interview after that.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jerron Mitchell. I am the owner and founder of Los Angeles Oils and Butters. Make sure you head over to my website, losangelesoilsandbutters.com, where you can pick up freshly made African black soaps that are oil infused with emu oil. If you're vegan, they have rosehip oil. I have black seed oil. I have handmade body butters, body scrubs, serums, and they're all handmade. These two hands right here by a licensed esthetician. Yeah, that's my intro.
But that was real good. So Jerron, please let us know your beginning. What got you into? I know you're a licensed esthetician, so you're a professional esthetician. But what got you into the product, the merchandise aspect of wanting to create a product that maybe you felt like that didn't exist? Like, what did that all begin?
So I had the product line actually before I became an esthetician. I had the product line for about 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years before I actually went to esthetician school, where I graduated in 2018 from Cerritos College here in California. Um, I've always wanted to have a product line. I've always been into skincare, starting back. My grandmother and my mother, they really got me on the track to just wanting to look and feel good about myself. And your skin is one of the things that, besides your hair, that help you to feel good about yourself. So when I was about 15 or 16, I remember saying, I want to have my own skincare line. So it kind of started way back then. I'm almost 40 now. And it took almost 20 years to get here, but I'm here. So when I got into the journey of skincare, it really just started off by me going to the African shops out here in Los Angeles, playing around with the different shea butters and different oils and experimenting. And it happened around, I think, initially in 2013 is when I got my first batch of shea butter. and I was living in Long Beach, California. I'll never forget it. I remember it so vividly. My friends came over to my house because I lived right across the street from the beach.
Hmm.
And I had this shea butter that I got from an African store out here. It smelled great. And you go to the beach, you oil down, things like that. So I melted some of it and we rubbed down with it. And they were like, man, this stuff smells good. You should sell this. I was like, nobody's gonna buy this shit. I'm just, like I just have it or whatever. And they
Okay.
were like, no, I think some people will buy this. So fast forward to 2015, 2016, I was still with this same shea butter, and the fragrance that was in it, I actually designed the fragrance.
Oh,
And so
wow.
what happened is I started a new job at the hospital, and I happened to wear some of the shea butter to work. And my coworker that sat to the right of me, her name was Juliet. She smelled it, and she was like, "Oh, that smells so good. What kind of cologne is that?" And I was like, "Well, it's not a cologne. It's shea butter that I make." And she was like, "Well, can you bring some of it to me?"
Hmm.
I was like, well, yeah, I can bring you some. It'll be like, I told her it'll be like $10 for a jar. She was like, okay, you just bring it to me. So I bought it to her. She loved the way it smelled. She loved the way it felt.
Hmm.
And she started to spread the word in the office. So now I have this audience, this unexpected audience that is purchasing the shea butter from the employees up to the managers of the
Wow.
hospital buying this from me. And so I was a temp at that job. And what's happening now, I'm talking about at that time,
Yes.
I was making more money selling shea butter than I was on my regular paycheck.
Okay.
So this went on for months. I
Wow.
had a steady audience at the hospital for months. And they ended up transferring me to a department that I didn't want to be in. So I remember sitting there with my trainer at the time. Her name was Vanessa. And I had trained with her for about 2 weeks. And in the between time while that happened, I also discovered black seed oil. Like that had
Mm.
changed my life. I started taking the black seed oil and I started telling my other coworkers about the black seed oil and this new product that I have. In the first department I was in, it didn't really move too well, but when they transferred me to the second department, not only was the shea butter moving well, but so was the black seed oil. So I was bringing it to my coworkers over there, and this was going on for about 2 weeks or so. And when I was done with training, I remember my trainer Vanessa. She was like, "Okay, well, after lunch, you're going on the phones by yourself because we were in a call center at the hospital." And I remember sitting there and saying to myself, "Do you want to do this?" Because I did not like the department. I'm like, I have all these degrees. I have bachelor's degrees. I have associate's degrees. I have lots of training as far as experience. This is not where I want to be. I also have a license in medical coding as well. I'm like, this is not where I want to be. So she clocked out. I waited for her to leave. When she left, I clocked out. I wrapped up my keyboard, put it in my bag. I got in my car and I left.
Mm.
I had no plan. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew I had a product. I didn't know how I was going to sell it because remember, my core audience was there at the hospital.
At the job, yeah.
Right. So I'm
Mm.
leaving. I'm like
Mm.
cold turkey leaving my audience because I knew once
Wow.
I start on the phones, this is going to be, I'm going to be trapped. And I didn't want to do that. So as I was selling, I would be posting stuff on Facebook, little stuff, nothing, not like advertisements or anything like that. And what happened is somebody on Facebook, saw that I was doing this and they ended up reaching out to me and saying, "Hey, would you like to vend at an event that's happening in
Mm.
Compton at the Compton Aeronautical Museum?" I was like, "Vend, sell to the public? Like in the
Yeah.
public, sell this stuff in the public." Like my labels were very, very generic. They look
Yeah.
nothing like how it looks today. I was like, well, I got to get some money somehow, so let's do it. So I scraped together my money. This was the event happened maybe 3 weeks to a month after I left. So this is me, no income at this point.
Mm.
So I scraped together the little bit of money I had, and I paid for the table. And I made some products and I went. I took my black seed oil. I took my black seed, my emu serum. At the time, I had the coffee scrub and my all over body butter, which is this now, but it was called mango butter at the time, but this one was like the big seller for me. And so I went to the event. I got there early in the morning, early. I was like the second vendor there. And what happened was, which I'm so thankful I got there early. That's why you got to show up early or show up. Don't show up on time, show up early. The director of the event, where she placed me at, I wasn't supposed to be there. I was supposed to be somewhere else. And the spot that they placed me in was the spot for the actual sponsor of the event, which was KJLH.
Wow.
Radio station, right?
Wow.
So it was supposed to be KJLH and Shabazz Restaurant, two huge entities.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be next to each other.
And they pay a lot of money for that spot too. It's more money for that spot.
It was when I say it was right at the entrance, like you could go or come without passing that spot.
Yeah.
And that's where I was at. My little booth, with my little products looking bootleg. It looked nothing like how it looks today.
Wow.
And I was all set up. Me and my homegirl went. So maybe about 2 hours passed, and KGLH finally arrived. I had been set up. And when they found out, I was supposed to be in the spot, originally they were like, well, we're going to have you move because they're supposed to be there. And the DJ, which I'm so thankful I forgot his name, he was like, no, don't have him move. We can just set up next to him, right?
Wow.
So set up next to me. And then maybe 30 minutes later, Shabazz came, the restaurant. They set up on the other side of me. So here I am, smack dab. And not only am I by the entrance, I am smack dab in the middle. Two huge
biggest brands
entities, right? Boom. Yeah. So I was getting all that traffic all day long. It was unreal.
Yeah.
So I remember at the end, because I was so tired. That was my first event. I had no idea what to expect, what to do. And I'm so thankful that at the time my homegirl went with me, because it was her first event too. But she kind of had businesses in the past, so she kind of knew how to, kind of run the business, but not really a vending event. Yes. So I ended up selling, I think, $700 or $800 in a matter of like 4 or 5 hours at the event.
Oh, that's good.
And what was happening at the event, when you go to these places, people be like, oh, well, I don't have the money now. I'll reach out to you later.
Did you have business cards? You had business cards at least then?
I had little flyers that I just printed on Word, and I cut. I think one of the words was misspelled. This is my first time out there.
Yeah.
So all the people that ended up telling me they were going to come back, they called me the next day. So within those 2 days, I made $1,100. So for me, that was huge.
That was huge.
Okay, I didn't have no credit card machines, no anything. So with that, when after that happened, I was like, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I have work for myself every weekend. And so what I did is I started, searching for different vending events around Los Angeles. So I made sure I had work every weekend. I had my cart, I had my display. And what I would do with the money is I would buy more products, and I would just expound on my display to make it more and more refined. And I started doing pop-ups everywhere. And that's kind of how I got known in the city in the beginning.
So from the way it transpired, you was forced to be all in because you stepped out on faith and you had no really other source of support, because the job becomes a support to regroup and to reinvest and to buy new product and to keep it going. So because you was all in, like, how was you worried about how was you going to be able to keep the product going, and how are you going to be able to buy the supplies you need to keep making the product every weekend? Like other sources.
When I left, I didn't think about any of that. I just knew I didn't want to be on the phones. I left.
And so somehow it has worked out from that day to this one that you had continued to always have investment to re-up and to keep it going.
Yes. And it was the reinvestment and me just being very strategic about how I spent the money that I was making to grow the business. Like I always tell people, like, the money is not mine. Money is the business. So the money is to help the business become bigger. And so now what's happening is, as we skip forward just a little bit, as I'm doing these vending events, one of my friends who's a hairstylist, she would plug my products to her clients, because now at this point I have cocoa butter, and I just got into making the black soap. This is maybe like a year after. And I went to her shop one day because she called me. She was like, can you bring some products? I have some people up here that want to buy them. And I said, yeah. So I went up there and we're talking. She was like, why don't you just go to esthetician school? You should just go to esthetician school. You like doing facials and stuff anyway. You should just go. I was like, esthetician school? I was like, you need a license to do that? Because I've been getting facials since I was 15 and 16. I had the equipment, had no idea that you needed a license to work on people.
Just start doing facials.
Just start doing them. So she told me that on maybe a Thursday, I think I went in, and that Saturday I was doing another event here in downtown LA. Another situation where I have my little cart that I still have today. I loaded it up with all my tables, my display items, and I pushed it like 8 blocks up the street walking. I'll be walking, catching the train. I had a car, but when I would do events at certain places, it wouldn't always be the best situation to drive because it was so much traffic. You have to worry about parking. You can't. I would be the only one working my booth. You can't leave your booth to go, do anything. Pretty much, you would
more convenient
to be there. So at this event, I met this lady named Angela. She came to my table, and we were talking, and she was like, "Have you ever thought about being an esthetician? You should go to esthetician school." So I was like, somebody just told me that 2 days ago. She was like, yeah, when you go, don't pay. Make sure you do a financial aid waiver or something like that. She said, you can go for free. She said, you'll probably have to pay for your kit, but for the class, it'll be free. She said, a lot of people go and, get these huge student loans to go be an esthetician where you can go right to the community college. I said, okay. So I left the event. They had another successful event. I still have pictures from that event. And I started doing research that night. I saw it was a community college down here in downtown LA Trade Tech. And then I saw another one was at Cerritos. So I called my same homegirl that told me I should go. She was like, no, you should go to Cerritos because that's where I went. That's one of the top cosmetology programs as far as community colleges in California. You should go. So I enrolled, and it just so happened, this is how the situation worked out. It just so happened the semester that I enrolled was kind of like a trial and error semester for the esthetician program because it was an accelerated program at that time.
Gotcha.
Right, because usually it's 600 hours, which would take usually a year and some change to complete, but it was accelerated at this time. So we were going every day. So I finished the program in like 6 months. After us, they don't do the program.
It was a trial, right?
Trial and error. And I passed with flying colors. I got 100% on my final.
Good.
The licensing course, I think they give you 2 hours or an hour and a half to finish the test. I finished mine 22 minutes flat. Did phenomenal on the hands-on part. So, I ended up getting my license December the 28th, 2018. And even while I was in school, I saw things that I was like, okay, the skincare industry is kind of a gimmick. That's why it's like a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's like people, they're making, these big brands are making money off of people's ignorance, them not knowing about skincare. Them just saying, oh, this will make your skin clear. Oh, this will heal this and this will heal that, but really no backing behind it. They dress it up in pretty packaging, and that's all it is. It's pretty packaging. So seeing that, it made me rethink how I was doing my products. Because when I graduated, or even when I was in school, that's when really the transition, the refinement of my products came. If you go down my Instagram timeline, you can kind of see that how everything started to change, and they started to change because now I'm in school and I have an understanding of why certain ingredients work on the skin. Whether you're black, white, it really doesn't matter. It just really depends on what skin issues that you're having. But overall, universally, our skin is pretty much the same. It's very different, but it's pretty much the same, and how different components of ingredients affect the skin. So I'm very thankful that, those situations happened to me where, 2 people came and said, you should go. Because it's really not only helped me in my business, but it's also helped my customers as well.
No, that was very very imperative that they said that, because it's not only does it give you the information and the theory and the awareness behind you refining your craft, but it also legitimizes you as well, because it's like you do it every day. You have product, you use it, you're professional, using it in your professional life, and it's like, it's like being a doctor and giving out, prescriptions. Like, you want people to know what they're talking about. And
Right.
so that was the beautiful thing about that. But it's a wonderful journey, because you have this kind of organic dynamic to how it happens, and that's kind of like brings about a certain passion to something, to where like you eager to learn, you want to learn, but it kind of happened like all organically. But everything has its purpose. It's like it's purpose driven, and it's like this is what you should be doing, because when it's purpose, it becomes easy because everything comes to you
Right.
as opposed to be coming to you. So it sounds really fascinating to hear your story as it all unfolds, because it seems like you just was purpose driven, that all this stuff began to happen in the chronological order that it did. And so now that you become an esthetician, and now that you have product, what is the long-term goal for Los Angeles Oil and Butter? But where you plan on taking it? Like, what's next?
So, like I tell people, with Los Angeles Oils and Butters, I set goals. Like, I set goals at the beginning of 2020 that I wanted to reach by December 2020. Crush those goals by February. So,
Wow.
how everybody is seeing this happen for me as I post, I'm watching it happen too. A lot of this stuff,
Mm,
I'm meeting goals that I haven't even planned for myself. Like
mm,
even with, having a PR person now get me in different articles like on Yahoo News, Kivo, just different articles. Like this is just, I'm all I'm doing is working. I'm just being the
yeah.
vessel to be used. But long term, what I would like to see, of course, is my brand continue to grow. And I don't know, just more. My
Yeah.
prayer daily is just, Lord, give me more visibility,
Yeah.
so I can, help more people. One thing I do have coming, or is in planning, I should say, I'm in the planning phase of it, is coming out with the ebook to teach people, how to do facials on themselves, kind of the way that I do facials. One of the things that I specialize in is microdermabrasion. When I was in school, you know, with getting facials, there's a component of it where it's like they give you a massage and they use these lotions on your face, and I'm just like, why would you use a lotion on your face after you've done all this, rigorous movement and extraction on the skin? It didn't make sense to me. But long story short, I want to teach people how to do facials, how I do them on my clients, but on themselves at home, especially with it being a pandemic right now. A lot of people are kind of sketchy on going out. And when we're doing facials, well, some estheticians do. I always did. I always wore 2 masks and gloves. They used to give me such shit in school for wearing masks and gloves doing the facials. I'm like, well, this is unsanitary just to use your bare hands on somebody and then you're this close to their face. They're breathing on you. You're breathing on them. No, I wore 2 masks and I think I've only done one facial without a pair of gloves, and that was my first facial when I was in school because I didn't know. And I think I didn't even do the whole facial because once I touched the skin, I was like, no. I need some gloves. I'll work on the doll until the next day I come back with my gloves.
Yeah.
It's just, a sanitary, like things that were implemented for COVID, I was already doing,
Yeah. Yeah.
been doing. But, it seems like they had to implement it for the estheticians, but I don't know. But yeah, I want to definitely teach people how to do facials on themselves. When I do my facials, I only use my products on my clients as far as the soaps, the serums, the toners, things like that. And, I do specialty facials on people. I say it's like a deep cleansing when you come to me.
Mm,
A lot of people go get these facials and they're paying $150, $200, $300 for a 45-minute facial. And my facials generally are about 2.5 to 3 hours. It just
mm,
depends on, what the client needs as far as like
mm.
extractions and exfoliation. And I take my time. I'm very detailed, very meticulous because I feel like when they leave, your work is literally my work is literally on their face. So
Yeah.
everybody's going to see it.
So do you have the equipment to like to see underneath the surface of the skin and to really zero in and do an analysis of what the problem is, or like how what type of service you provide as far as ascertaining a pragmatic method to someone who has more challenging skin? Like if
Well,
you have,
it depends
yeah,
on the situation. So it's
yeah,
really done with these. You touch the skin and you can
ah,
feel, and that's why I tell you. When I was in school, they were, well, how can you feel with the gloves on? No, you can feel with the
yeah,
gloves on what's going on, because you may not see bumps on the surface of somebody's skin, but you know they're underneath there just by the touch. So that's really how I'm able to assess what's going on with somebody's skin once I'm able to touch it and kind of see, because seeing it visually, some people may look like they have really nice skin, but once you start to work on it and peel those layers off like an onion, then you
mm,
see, oh no, you have a lot of underlying bumps that could be hair bumps. There could be acne bumps that just may have not come up yet. They could be
mm,
blackheads that may not have come up yet, but they're in the process. So what my service does, it addresses those issues. It also forces whatever underlying bumps are under the skin to come up,
mm,
which some people say, oh, well, why do you break out after you have a facial? It's not necessarily that you're breaking out, it's that the toxins that are underneath the skin, they're coming
mm,
up, and you want them to come up so the healing process can truly begin. Because it's
mm.
like, what's the point of having a beautiful skin, but the texture is all messed up because you have all these bumps underneath? It's like
And
having a Nestle Crunch Bar.
and blackheads as well, right? Get rid of the
Black,
blackheads and all. Yeah, yeah.
blackheads as well, whiteheads. So I do a lot during the service. So I do
I've
like
never
the
heard of whiteheads.
facelifts, the skin tightening, the microdermabrasion,
Oh, skin
and
tightening. Okay.
extractions. I use the facial vacuum on people. I do what's called a manual facial. A lot of people, they see things like, well, I don't want to call no names of different services,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
things are like gimmicks. And they
yeah,
think because, they are dressed up so pretty that they work, and
yeah,
don't work.
yeah,
They're really subpar. They're average. They're not
yeah,
really.
yeah,
That's not it.
yeah. And that people know because people, like you said, it's something that's on your face, something you wear, something. It's an experience, and so if you give them a good experience, they're gonna definitely give you a good report. And if they have a bad experience, they're gonna definitely remember that as well. And usually, something that's sensitive at your face, you're not gonna go back for that bad experience again because
Right.
it's really personal to have that on your face and experience a bad experience. So it's very important that you have integrity in your work and that you know what you're doing and you're giving people good advice. So that's wonderful because even with doing media, you have one vision in mind, but when you begin to do the work, it becomes alive. You learn a lot more stuff that you have opportunity presents itself, and you take advantage of opportunity as it comes. So hopefully, that now that you're doing the esthetician work and you have product, that your vision becomes more and more clearer, and it begins to expand more and more, and you be able to provide services predicated on the demands, number one, and creativity, what needs to be created. And that's the wonderful thing about being in a position to do that, because you're going to create something that is needed or that is missing from the market, and the demand wants it. So I'm sure more amazing things going to come from Los Angeles Oil and Butter. We're excited about all of your success so far. The Facebook reaching 10,000. Congratulations on
Thank
that as
you.
well, and just continue to do wonderful, wonderful things that you're doing as far as ownership and business, and the fact that how it happens. That's a wonderful thing. How it even transpire something has organically as just going about your everyday life, and here it is, something that you had and you didn't know that it was what you needed to change your life. And you just had something that you were doing for yourself. And that's where it all started out: self preservation, self development, self cultivation. And then you have something of value that is can definitely expand to something as far as business. So it's really exciting to hear your story. I thought it was fascinating. Much continued success. We definitely support you. We behind you, and just want to continue to hear good things from what you're doing. And tell them where your shop with everything is and what you got going on.
So if you want to pick up some products, I have some phenomenal handmade African black soap. I have my emu oil infused African black soap, which is called my emu serum. It's the most popular serum. So if you're a person that's suffering with hyperpigmentation, maybe from past acne bumps that left a small, dark mark on your face, or you just want to brighten up your skin tone, you definitely want to pick up my Emu Oil Serum African Black Soap. And my products are also trademarked. I trademarked the name of my company, which is
Amazing.
Los Angeles Oils and Butters. I trademarked the name of my corporation, which is Our Skin Matters, INC, because our skin, it truly matters. Um, let's see. Now, if you are a person that's suffering with like eczema or psoriasis or really dry skin, you want to check out my Black Seed Serum African Black Soap, which is also trademarked. It's a 3-piece kit. It is phenomenal. If you have acne that you're dealing with, you may want to check out my Tea Tree Serum kit. It really goes in and zaps those acne bumps without drying out your skin. That's one of the great things about my oil infused products. Now, if you're vegan, I also offer the Rose Hip 3-piece kit as well. Does the same thing pretty much as the Emu Serum and the Black Seed Serum combined, but it's just that in a vegan form. You can pick up these products on Los Angeles Oils and Butters.com. I know the name is long, and that's another thing. People in the beginning would try to get me to change my name, but I'm so glad that I did not, because I got the trademark for my company, Los Angeles Oils and Butters. So not only did I grow up in Los Angeles County in the city of Carson, I now actually own a piece of Los Angeles, literally through my trademark, which is phenomenal. My body butters are a hot item. My all-over body butter, which I showed earlier in the broadcast, is one of the popular items. I have the Emu Serum, the Black Seed Serum, the Tea Tree. My cocoa butter smells just like chocolate naturally. And they're all natural, no fillers, no artificial ingredients. They are 100% organic, natural products. My black seed oil, which I get it pressed fresh weekly right here in LA. The seeds are imported over from Egypt, and I have my cold presser out here in LA that presses the oil for me. And you can pick all this stuff up on LosAngelesOilsandButters.com.
Well,
Yes.
there you have it. And I think he said it better. He said it well. We're so excited. Like I said, continued success. Thank you so much for doing the platform for me, and just continue doing what you're doing. Definitely reach out to him if you have not heard of Los Angeles Oils and Butter. I'm telling you, it is phenomenal stuff. We use it. It's wonderful stuff. Nothing but great things about it. If you definitely need a facial, check him out. His shop. It's downtown, right? Your shop is still downtown.
Yes, I have 2 offices down here in downtown, actually. I'm going to start doing facials again soon. I just moved into a
Yes.
new spot. I'm currently in the process of setting it up now. Once I start taking clients again, I'll definitely make sure
Yeah.
I announce it on Instagram. You can follow me there at Los Angeles Oils and Butters as well. Yeah, and come in and let me work on your skin. I'm one of the best in the business. I'll say that myself. I'm one of the best and honest in the business.
Thank you so much. And definitely, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. King Solomon Entertainment on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, as well as YouTube, King Solomon Entertainment Company and Media Group. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you guys. We continue to bring you wonderful content, wonderful information that will change your life. And today was no exception. So excited to have Jerron Mitchell, the owner of Los Angeles Oils and Butter, doing wonderful work. Reach out to him, definitely subscribe and check him out. Thank you guys for joining us for another interview, and we'll see you next time. And King Simon KS News, stay put, Jerron, and we're going to end this live. Thank you guys so much. See you next time.